We have some major news right now. Bipartisan outrage has exploded on Capitol Hill after the United States Coast Guard under Kristi Noem say that in the next month, they're no longer going to classify nooses and swastikas as hate symbols, according to Washington Post reporting. It's a bombshell of really epic proportions. They're no longer going to be recognizing swastikas and nooses as hate symbols because they could be too divisive, according to the Washington Post. And Kristi Noem, the Department of Homeland Security Secretary, who's responsible for all of this, she's getting massive pushback, massive pressure right now from Republicans and Democrats on Capitol Hill because this is just unacceptable to everyone. Everyone is literally saying, what the hell is happening with the United States Coast Guard? Why are we going to now allow Coast Guard members to potentially wear swastikas or paint a noose somewhere when they're clearly hate symbols and they shouldn't be allowed? So that's where we're at as a nation right now. Spread the word. I'll provide you more updates as we get more information. Spread the word. Follow along, stay up to date on all the news that you need to know about. More to come soon. We have some major news right now. Bipartisan outrage has exploded on Capitol Hill after the United States Coast Guard under Kristi Noem say that in the next month, they're no longer going to classify nooses and swastikas as hate symbols, according to Washington Post reporting. It's a bombshell of really epic proportions. They're no longer going to be recognizing swastikas and nooses as hate symbols because they could be too divisive, according to the Washington Post. And Kristi Noem, the Department of Homeland Security Secretary, who's responsible for all of this, she's getting massive pushback, massive pressure right now from Republicans and Democrats on Capitol Hill because this is just unacceptable to everyone. Everyone is literally saying, what the hell is happening with the United States Coast Guard? Why are we going to now allow Coast Guard members to potentially wear swastikas or paint a noose somewhere when they're clearly hate symbols and they shouldn't be allowed? So that's where we're at as a nation right now. Spread the word. I'll provide you more updates as we get more information. Spread the word. Follow along, stay up to date on all the news that you need to know about. More to come soon. We have some major news right now. Bipartisan outrage has exploded on Capitol Hill after the United States Coast Guard under Kristi Noem say that in the next month, they're no longer going to classify nooses and swastikas as hate symbols, according to Washington Post reporting. It's a bombshell of really epic proportions. They're no longer going to be recognizing swastikas and nooses as hate symbols because they could be too divisive, according to the Washington Post. And Kristi Noem, the Department of Homeland Security Secretary, who's responsible for all of this, she's getting massive pushback, massive pressure right now from Republicans and Democrats on Capitol Hill because this is just unacceptable to everyone. Everyone is literally saying, what the hell is happening with the United States Coast Guard? Why are we going to now allow Coast Guard members to potentially wear swastikas or paint a noose somewhere when they're clearly hate symbols and they shouldn't be allowed? Clearly. So that's where we're at as a nation right now. Spread the word. I'll provide you more updates as we get more information. Spread the word. Follow along, stay up to date on all the news that you need to know about. More to come soon. We have some major news right now. Bipartisan.
We winning. 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 Yeah. We winning. We winning. I know they hating out here. Yeah. I know they mad. They all in their feelings. But baby, I don't care. She calling the police on me and everything. Yeah. Somebody need to get on the phone, call my attorney. Dealing with these hard-headed hoes who ain't learned.
Salute, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Simple Shit TV. I'm your host, Alvin Holden, also known as Project 8020. Yeah. People think it's a game. People think it's a game. We've been saying it for years. But nobody wants to do anything about it. That's fine. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. I guess it's not until you threaten those people that are not to be spoken of. It's not until you threaten them this stuff become a big deal. But people been, using nooses as intimidation against Black folks since the origins of this country. But, for whatever reason, it's only now that that's something that, people want to be upset about it. But anyway, shout out to what's up, Broken Blade? How you doing, sir? Shout out to the chat. Before we get super duper deep into that part, which again, I'm only going to be an hour. We're going to keep it kind of short today. We're going to keep it kind of short because we got other jobs and other work to do. I want to cover this story here. There's a woman named, I believe her name is Stasy Charles. Now, it's interesting how they decided to spell it, but I guess that's neither here nor there. You know, my condolences to her family, so on and so forth. I don't want to seem dismissive, but I'm feeling a little bit dismissive. But we're gonna let this rock. Fair use, fair use, fair use. And we're gonna listen to this, and I want you guys to give me your opinion about this whole situation at the end here. Let's let this rock.
Been lost to domestic violence. Balloons taking flight to honor the life of a woman lost to domestic violence. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Family and friends of Stasy Charles say a New Orleans woman who was killed in Baton Rouge last week are celebrating her life.
She was stabbed to death by her ex-boyfriend. The investigative unit's Best Casualty has been following this story closely. She reports tonight from Gretna, where that memorial took place, and has new information on the circumstances that led up to her murder.
Michael, Sylvia, we're here in Gretna, which is near Charles's hometown of Harvey. There were dozens of people, they're still lingering here behind me, that came to celebrate her life, releasing purple balloons in her honor.
The WBRZ investigative unit has obtained more documents showing the rocky relationship history that led to 2 deaths. According to Baton Rouge police, 28-year-old Stephen Heinrich stabbed 23-year-old Stasy Charles to death before crashing his car and setting himself on fire. Court documents show Charles had tried to protect herself from Heinrich multiple times before her death. In a protective order request filed in October in family court, Charles says Heinrich was physically abusive, having checked these boxes, saying he punched, shoved, and threatened her life with a weapon. However, in her written description of the abuse, she does not mention violence, instead stating he was relentlessly harassing and stalking her and her family through social media.
He created like any dating site, any type of thing. This man would create a page for my daughter.
It's behavior that Dominique Ramkaran and her family know well.
Everything that he did to my daughter, he was doing to the same girl.
Ramkaran lives in New York, where Heinrich is from. She says he harassed and stalked her daughter for months before he met Charles.
A year and a half, you harassed and stalked my daughter. A year and a half, you have tortured us.
In fact, it got so bad it led Ramkaran to file a civil suit against Heinrich when she says the police wouldn't take it seriously. According to her, he had been arrested in New York for violating a protective order several times.
The system failed both of these young ladies.
In Baton Rouge, Heinrich was never served with that initial protective order by Charles because officers couldn't find him. The matter was ultimately dismissed because Charles didn't show up to court. A month later, Heinrich was arrested for misdemeanor domestic abuse against Charles, and she was granted a protective order. He was issued a $2,500 bond by Commissioner Keena Kimball, and a week later stabbed Charles to death. Ramkaran says her death could have been prevented.
So how does a man that has a flipping assault, like a harassment, has probation,
Wait, hold on,
is on
hold
having a flip
Bond by Commissioner.
Oh, that's the judge. Hold on. That's the judge right there. That's the judge. Okay, that's the judge. I just in case y'all missed it, I just wanted to. That's the judge. This is the judge. Okay. All right.
Commissioner Keena Kimball, and a week later stabbed Charles to death. Ramkaran says her death could have been prevented.
So how does a man that has a flipping assault, like a harassment, has probation, is on have warrants, were able to slip through the system, get a $2,500 bail, and was able to go back to the same young lady that he harassed and kill her?
District Attorney Hiller Moore is currently out of the country and said he did not want to comment on this case until he has all the facts, which he assures me his office is working to get. What we do know is when Heinrich went in front of Commissioner Kimball for his domestic abuse charge, the DA's office did let her know that he had been previously arrested for violating a protective order as well as a criminal mischief charge, both out of the state of New York. In terms of those protective orders that Baton Rouge police says that they found, records and that we know exist in New York. It's not sure why the DA's office did not have that information at the time. We're going to be following this case very carefully, and I promise to bring you the latest information as soon as we get it. Reporting for the investigative unit, Bess Casserly, WBRZ News 2.
Now, Broken Blade, how are you doing, sir? No problem.
Sleepy.
I feel that, bro. I feel that. You know, it's
I think I messed up. I did the workout like a couple hours while I went to bed. Woke up and got to the bag again. And I think that may have.
Look, man. I'll tell you something. I'm going to tell you something, bro. I'm going to tell you something. I would like to think that I'd like to think that I know what I'm doing, right? But like we all have, like on some level, we have imposter syndrome. Whenever, you know, sometimes you think, you know, you're like, is this good enough? Is this, you know? I think I'm in pretty decent shape. And if I do I've done 2 classes a day, like I've taken myself through it twice a day.
Yeah. And
I'm smoked. Like I am absolutely, you know, when you can like sit down, you can't get comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, what in the hell? Why can't I get comfortable? I haven't picked up a weight in 2 days, but I've taken myself through about 5 classes and I feel like I've lifted weights today, like I really do. Yeah. So I think we're on the right track, bro. I think we got a pretty solid pretty solid product. I really think if we stay consistent and stay on top, I think we got a pretty solid workout, you know, like, cause I mean, you know, I'm developing real time. I'm still taking insight. I'm still, you know, working out some of the details, stuff I like, stuff I didn't, but that I don't, whatever. Shout out to Uncle. What's popping? Okay. What's up? So Broken Blade, this young lady, she unfortunately, her life ended way too soon. You know, so again, my condolences to the family. No one should have to lose a loved one. However, that does not mean that we can't examine her life and how she lived. You know, that does not mean that we can't, you know, dig up, because I mean, when it's us, they dig up old stuff, right? It's like, oh, he was a criminal and he did XYZ and blah, blah, blase. And I do remember a brother that got perforated by a young OF model. And, you know, he was I believe a Nigerian or something. And, you know, he had some pretty not nice things to say about Black people in this country. And he didn't get a lot of,
had to be a tether.
He didn't get, yeah, he did. But he didn't get a lot of sympathy. In fact, you know, there was a lot of B-dubs, a lot of lovely ladies that jumped on the bandwagon when that happened. And they were all but, you know, dancing on his grave, and, you know, a whole lot of you get what you get and yada, 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 yada. So, you know, I stayed out of it. You know, it was sad that he got taken out. Once again, you know, I have a particular relationship with the lovely ladies myself, but I don't demean them or bash them in public because it's not my thing. But, and we don't, even on this channel, we don't, you know, we might speak on some of their, ratchet and dishonest behavior, but even then we keep it to a minimum. We don't really go hard on the lovely ladies around here. But this lovely lady here, if I'm not mistaken, is of Haitian descent. Some Twitter, some tweets have come up, and she's you know what? Let's just let the beginning of this video play, and then I'll get your input on the other side of it here.
Send a white boy my way. That's what Stasy Charles posted on social media. A wish, a preference, a call out to the universe, and Stephen Heinrich Jr. showed up like an answer to a prayer. Except he wasn't a blessing. He was a curse, disguised as what she asked for. White skin, dark soul. A man who hated black women but couldn't stop pursuing them. A man with 6 protective orders. A man who'd spent over a year terrorizing another woman before he ever met Stasy. She wanted a white boy. She got a monster. And by the time she realized what she'd invited into her life, it was too late to escape.
Balloons taking flight to honor the life of a woman lost to domestic violence. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Family and friends of Stasy Charles say a New Orleans woman who was killed in Baton Rouge last week are celebrating her life.
She was stabbed to death by...
I'm not here to judge anybody's dating preferences. People like who they like. But that post, it's important because of what happened next. Because somehow...
Send a YT boy my way.
Put out the wicked vibe, let the girls come to you. Look at this idiot.
I mean, I don't like I said, I reserve the right not to care.
Yeah.
If anything, it's calling out the hypocrisy of the lovely ladies. You got what you asked for. This is what you asked for, right? Because it's not just that though. See, what they forget is that the police department and the system doesn't work for you when it's them versus us. Ladies, I don't think very many women listen to me, but if any women actually get a chance to hear this, the system doesn't work for y'all the same when it's us versus when it's them. You're going to call the cops on them and you might go to jail. But see, a lot of you guys are too slow to get to understand that. Call it mental retardation, self-hate, cognitive dissonance. You could call it a lot of things. But the reality is that Halle Berry is paying child support. Halle Berry is paying child support to a white boy. Just in case y'all forgot. And it was a black woman that let him out on some puny little bail and had him run in the streets. It was another black woman that let him out. So you guys can punch down all you want, because we're the only protection y'all got. Because if you leave it up to them, this one right here, that's what he did. This guy, him, that guy. You know what I'm saying? Broken Blade, I'm sorry. I just couldn't help myself. What are your thoughts, Mo? What are your initial thoughts on this whole situation?
You didn't nail on the head as far as I'm concerned. It's like another example of hypocrisy. The late great Patrice O'Neal. I've touched on this before. He told the story on the radio show about how he was wrongfully imprisoned. Took part in the gangbang, completely consensual. Made to look like a rapist. Spent age of 17, spent 3 months in jail in real prison. Not even juvenile, grown man prison. Due to like his friend having basically a psychological breakdown, fear getting raped in the prison, he was going like weeks without showering. So like the top dogs in the prison, like these death row inmates, started questioning, like, "Yo, we need to talk to your boy. Like, somebody happened to him." People getting pissed off. Matter of fact, you kind of young. What you in here for? You like they walk around the yard, but twice he just tells them, what it is. The lady across the table, he's expected to get shanked or whatever. Wait. You were here for running the train on the girl. Every motherfucker in here has done that. You went to jail for it. But thankfully, like he both of them got a pass because of that.
Yeah.
But he still saw and went through a lot of crazy crap in prison. And this radio show, Opie and Anthony, there's a lot of white fans, a lot of those guys are racist. Racist as they are, after hearing this story, a lot of guys started calling in, giving mass, like, yo, that is fucked up.
Yeah.
I had my issues. I didn't know it was like that fucking crazy. Oh, shit. You know?
Yeah.
That type of energy. After they came back from break, one of the host asked was like, does your girlfriend now know the story? Patrice answers like, every girl I've dated, I've told the story. Those stories like what his ex is, this lawyer, black woman, told her the story. See, that's what you get messing with the white women. He got more sympathy from racists.
Yeah. Yeah. They do not care. They can't see the other side, bro. They just can't. They just cannot. They will not. They refuse. They refuse to see the other side. They believe they are different. They will say that they want equal, but they do not mean it. Equal is not what they want. They want supremacy. They want to be supreme. They believe they are better. They believe they are supreme. Man, that sucks too. She's cute. That sucks. That sucks. What a shame. That's a shame. What a shame. But I mean, hey, you know, but it's the bear though.
Yeah.
The bear though. Zaddy or the bear? I'm sorry, man. Like, I will say this. I believe that there are some white ladies out there that'll ride for there's always somebody that'll ride for the other side, right? There's always somebody. But the protection comes from this side. You know? Like, you can be a woman and you can be a rider all you want, but if you've got a psycho, if you're sleeping next to a psycho, there's not really much you can do to protect yourself. This is all there is to it, right? White, black, yellow, green, doesn't matter. Purple, doesn't matter. A guy on the other side, you know, a woman gets out of pocket, you know, a guy can skedaddle before things go bad, before things go south. You know what I'm saying? So there is a double standard. There is a thing. And again, men aren't inherently dangerous. They're just more dangerous than physically dangerous than women. That's it. That's it. You know? And here's the thing too. Okay. And these are just little bits and pieces why I think that the B-dubs or these lovely ladies don't necessarily understand the dynamic that they're getting themselves into. You see what I'm saying? Like, us taking disrespect from the lovely ladies from the B-dub is different, right? It's like your mom talking smack to you. It's like your sister talking smack to you. It's like an auntie talking smack to you. It's like your niece is talking smack to you. That's one thing. White boys don't see you like that. They don't see you as like a family member. They don't see you as like a person. They don't see themselves in you at all. They see you like a dog or a cat or a coyote or an elk or any other thing that they might put a bullet in every once in a while. And so if you get out of pocket or get out of line, if you threaten them, if they see you as an immediate threat, either to their money or their well-being or their reputation, they will punch your ticket. I've never heard anybody actually say that to a woman before. Be like, look, these people don't look at you the same. They absolutely don't look at you the same. We can fetishize black men all you want, blah, 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 blah. Things get out of pocket. A black man can get the hell up out of Dodge. You, on the other hand, are a victim. You are a target. And if you go starting to talk crap to this white boy, like you think you can talk to your brother or your dad or any other male member of your family, he's going to punch your ticket. He's going to cut you up into little bitty pieces, and he's going to put you in the trunk somewhere or in the freezer. He's going to leave you in a parking lot leaking. They don't get it though. But they should be afraid of us.
And keep in mind, what's the Gabby Petito, white woman.
Yeah.
They got into.
Yeah.
She was causing problems.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the white boys aren't raised like we are. They don't have the kind of admiration for mama and the female versions of their family members that even think about this. All the pedophilia, you know what I'm talking about? Right? That's not our thing. We don't do that. We don't mess with kids. Black men don't mess with kids. This is not a thing we do. You might catch one every once in a while. That's probably something that's starting to come up a little bit more often because there's less men around the house. But that's not a thing for us. That's not a thing for us. For them, it is. And I think you got to have a couple different screws loose to be on that program, right? But that's the kind of guy you're looking for. Okay, bet. All right, that's cool. I mean, like I said, my condolences to her family. I don't wish that that kind of stuff on anybody. But you know, I just wish black women would really understand the kind of danger that they're in. And like they can talk all that smack about black men online, talk, and oh, black men this, black man that, black man this, black man that. But when you really get it down to brass tacks, we're your last line of defense, stupid. Like we really are.
You ran them off.
And you ran them off, or actively running them off, or getting them locked up. What's her face? The track chick. Takari Richardson or whatever. Yeah. Sha'Carri Richardson, right? And that whole situation in the airport, she was the aggressor. She was doing all the hardcore, like blah, 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 blah. And then when the cops were trying to question her, she was trying to hang him out to dry. He was trying to save her. She was the one at fault, and she was trying to send him to jail. Bro, it's in their DNA. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not going to try to get too deep, but I guess I have my own opinions about that stuff or whatever it is. I want to date a black woman. I want to be with a black woman, but man, I tell you what, they're not making it easy. They are not making it easy. They are absolutely not making it easy. So anyways, I just wanted to, let's see. Should we look at Twitter real fast before we, let's look at X real fast before we get to the last thing. And honestly, I think it's a pretty interesting thing that oh no, it's wrong button. What the Coast Guard is doing. They're doing what we all already knew that they would do, but let's see what we got here. This is crazy. So yeah, Twitter is cold-blooded. What does it say? Black woman Stasy Charles ended by white man Stephen Henry Jr. after he was released by a black judge, Keena Kimball, on $2,500 bond. Send me a white boy. Yeah, that's crazy. My sweet baby Stasy didn't deserve this, and I'm so sorry I failed you. Yeah, it's kind of sad. Let's see. Stasy was such a sweet girl, and regardless of her tweets or preference, she did not deserve to be shanked to death by someone she was actively trying to get away from. In no way, shape, or form should this have happened, and there definitely shouldn't be a debate about it. There's no debate. I think people were just acknowledging her preferences. That's all. I don't know why people are so triggered. She has preferences, right? I think everyone is just making note that, it's sad that she's no longer with us, but she had her preferences. 23-year-old woman shanked to death by her boyfriend who set himself on fire and passed. BRPD said Stephen Heinrich Jr. fatally perforated Stacey Charles, then crashed head on and hit him and lit himself on fire. He passed from his injuries. This occurred in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Freaking Cody, what's up, man? What's in the water down there, bro? Cody, what's in the water down there, man? Y'all tender ass N-words really bashing Stasy for real behind a preference that ain't even important. She got ended by a psycho. What the F? That's funny. I wonder if I were to go back and look at her tweets and see like what she said about some of these other cases that were the other way around. I wonder if she would have the same type of energy. If I had to put money on it, I would say that she probably doesn't. Black men are using Stacey Charles to deflect, but the data is clear. Black men still kill the most Black Americans in America. Once again, you commit crimes against the people that you live close to. So the
white Americans kill the most white Americans. So
exactly stupid. But and I wonder if anybody says should I let's see. And YT Americans. Oops, sorry, I'm trying to type in. Kill the most YT Americans in America. FYI. We're not gonna. You know what? We're gonna. Oops. I can type really. I usually don't type live like this. There we go. Stay blessed. Let's see. Yeah, she's got a lot of. So she had her preferences. See, and then homeboy, there's what's his face. Prayers and condolences. However, her story and Christian Owumseli's story ended the same way, both rooted in self-hatred. For the sake of interracial sexual access and being the opposite race won't help you cure your own self-hate. Yeah, I mean that's a real thing, man. I think it's possible to have Broken Blade. Do you think it's possible to have interracial relationships that are genuine?
Yeah.
Right. It's possible.
But both people have a level of self-respect. Putting up with racial slurs and nonsense like physical, emotional abuse, and all of this, just to say you're with a person of this race. Most people like that, they're not looking for a specific race. They're looking for personality more.
Okay, so tell me something. Okay, tell me something.
Happiness.
Okay, all right. Well, okay, so you're saying do you think that if you are a non-melanated person dating a melanated person, and the non-melanated person can tell that the melanated person's got self-hate, do you think that affects the relationship? Like, do you think that right? So like, so if a white person, if a non-melanated person is dating a black person and they're not a self-hating individual, right? And they have some pride or dignity in themselves, do you think that relationship goes different?
I believe it does. Hell, I don't know. I don't know if it was a trial of the last population or what. I've heard a couple of white guys that have ranted about like dating black women, and they call them massa. And they're like, yo, what the fuck? That ain't cool, man. And they think it's funny. And he's not amused.
Yeah, no. I think that sets a terrible precedent,
yeah.
to say the least. That sets a just terrible precedent. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have opinions because I've dated more outside of greatly more outside of my race than I have inside like by a 95, 99%. You know what I'm saying? So
Quick question. Couple
Mhm.
questions.
Mhm.
How many of these women have you allowed to hit you or degrade you at all?
I got hit once. It was an instant breakup. We lived together too. I kicked her directly out of the house.
How many got away with calling you the hard R?
None ever.
So you kept pride in who you are as a man and as a black man, despite dating outside your race.
Absolutely.
Curious.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Now I'm not with none of them now at this point. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so
You know.
yeah, but I mean, but I dated one girl that was, she had all the workings or whatever, and I ended up, her parents were not that cool at the very beginning, and I probably had to deal with I probably dealt with a little more grief than I should have at the beginning, but I was like, that I was kind of invested at the time, I already had some time in. So I figured I would have to, so I was like, let me, I'll weather the storm and whatever. So eventually what ended up happening was I did win the parents over, but I also realized that we'll never be able to have good, like she'll never see the world through my eyes. Like I found myself when I was like venting or talking about stuff, I was talking at her, not to her. Does that make any sense? Yeah. And it was like, she was just like, hurry up and get done.
Over. Yeah.
Hurry up and get done so we can go to brunch. And I was like, yeah, this is not going to work. This is not going to work. I feel these things. I gotta communicate this kind of stuff. So it ended up being, and by the end, she's like, I don't understand, or I'll get better and I'll learn how to whatever. And I'm like, no, you probably won't. Nice try. It's cool. I get it. It's all good. I'm not tripping. You need to go find you a nice little rich white boy. It's cool. I'm not mad. My feelings weren't even hurt. Weren't hurt. You know what I'm saying? She was from a very affluent northwest family, well, actually her pops was from Chicago. But she was raised in like Seattle or whatever. And they're, affluent family or whatever. By the end though, pops was like, are you sure we can, how about we, cause I put her on the treadmill, got her fit. I got her back down at Division I volleyball. She played D1 volleyball. I got her down to volleyball weight. And her parents were greatly appreciated. Patriotism and reason for black men to enlist in the military, getting benefits from service so we can understand. Man, we're going to talk about it. We are going to talk about it here in a second. I dated one black girl my whole 51 years. And paid me attention in middle school ever since. I had the cold shoulder and the death stare from Keisha. So
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
My experiences have been pretty much the same also.
Well, before we move on, let's close out with this. Like what many of our lovely ladies don't seem to understand. The whole swirler mindset, this swirler movement is a psyop. Feminism, especially the black community, is a psyop. The worship of white men, the hatred for black men. Hell, pushing of LGBT on the black community. Psyop. Gay and lesbian couples, people going monk mode, leaving the state, or getting mental child support, have little nothing to show for how hard they busted their ass their entire lives. Most likely no will, no kids, no legacy. So when they die, where does the money go? There's a reason the serpent went to Eve and not Adam.
It's the weaker vessel. The weaker vessel. And I wish we would, if we just embraced it, I think things would be a lot easier for everybody, but it's just not, we just can't, they take offense to that, and it's like, don't take offense to it. It's just, it is what it is, like you don't have any protection. I'm telling you, Broken Blade, look, just to build on what you said, they don't look at you the same. They don't look at you like you're a regular person in their family. They sleep with you. Whatever, they might be nice to you. They might buy you things, but they don't look at you like you're a cousin or a niece or a daughter or a mother. They don't look at you the same. They look at your skin, and you might as well be an elk or a cow or a pig or any other animal that they might put a bullet in every once in a while. And the second you step out of line, the second you actually threaten them, because that's what happens. Bro, I would imagine that a lot of these times, and we've heard so many stories of, because what happens is these kind of cases get swept under the rug for real. Our cases, they put them up on because all over the media, because they want to push those narratives because they like that. But when the B-dubs disappear, when the lovely ladies disappear, it gets quiet because we know who the perpetrator is. And they sweep that right under the rug. Right. And you get all of these black families that are like, oh my God, I cannot believe blah, 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 blah. And they can't, and none of these cases get any traction. And they can't figure out why none of these cases get any traction. Why can't I get justice? Why can't I get justice? There's a lot of black families and there's a lot of black women that have disappeared over the years. And why can't I get justice? Why can't we get traction? Because Brad is why. Brad and the DA and the judges and the cops. But y'all think fat meat ain't greasy. So that's on y'all. So, like I said, a man is a man. Look, if a man gets taken out, like this dude right here, what's his name? This brother right here was on some other stuff. And then look, again, you get what you get sometimes. What was his name? He had Telbo Rackins. Was that really his? I think that he did have one of them names like that. And he was a whitey and loves the whitey white and all the whitey white and whitey white.
That's new facts there, Sigma.
What's that?
Sad facts. Yeah. To their own demise.
It's unfortunate. Yeah. I feel bad, bro. I do. I just, again, just if any ladies actually hear this, you have to keep just this one point. I don't care what you say, and you can talk all the bad stuff about black men all you want. There is no way that these YT people look at you like a son does a mother. Like they don't look at you like nieces and nephews and cousins and stuff. You're not kinfolk. They don't look at you the same. And the second you threaten them, meaning you threaten their money, their livelihood, their reputation, they will pull the plug. They will absolutely pull the plug and get away with it too. But don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. I've just listened to a bunch of white boys talk before, and I know that they don't look at y'all like you're human. I'm just saying, they really don't. Now, maybe white women don't look at black men like they're human either, but white women have a harder time with firearms. I'm just saying, and knives. That's all. Anyway. So shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Look, do me a huge favor. If you haven't hit the like button on the way in or on the way out. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. That'd be dope. I really truly appreciate it. Look, we're not going to go super duper deep into this. I think we're only going to be on here for another 15 minutes or so. But I played this clip earlier. I'm not going to play the clip. I'm just going to go right into the article. The Coast Guard will no longer classify, some of these things here, nooses, as hate symbols. The military service, which falls under the Department of Homeland Security, has drafted a new policy that classifies such items potentially divisive. Now, chat, talk. I need you guys to chime in really quick. How many of you guys have been in the military? My pops was in the Marine Corps. I never went, but I was raised by someone from the Marine Corps. So in my daily life, I have a very militant kind of energy to me. Oftentimes people believe that I went to ask me if I've gone to the military, or if I was in the military. I suspect I would probably fit in and do quite well if I were in the military. But part of the reason why I didn't go into the military is stuff like this. How many of you guys have been in the military? Just chime in the chat. I'm going to come back to you. Let's see. I was close. Was that Cody? Okay. U.S. Coast Guard will no longer classify the swastika and the emblem of fascism and white supremacy and inextricably linked to the deletion of millions of. Bro, isn't this really crazy how they'll talk about that symbol, but they won't, but the whole noose and hanging of black people just doesn't get mentioned, right? It's like they have this one thing and then they throw black people in there to give the thing legitimacy, but it's like they don't even, it's like you guys didn't even do anything about the black stuff though. Like the nooses part, like what about that part? Can somebody talk to us? What happened to that part? Can we get a little bit of relief? Us black people, 85% of the hate crimes are against black people, but I don't know. Like, can we get a little bit of relief? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe. Instead, the Coast Guard will classify the Nazi area Nazi because look, you could see they're not even concerned about the noose, broken blade. Instead, the Coast Guard will classify the Nazi era insignia as potentially divisive under new guidelines. A policy set to take effect December 15th. Similarly downgrades the classification of nooses in the Confederate flag, though display of the latter remains banned, according to documents reviewed by the Washington Post. So the Confederate flag remains banned, but not the old noose though. Certain historical displays of artwork where the Confederate flag is a minor element are still permissible according to the policy. Though the Coast Guard is not part of the Defense Department, the service has been reworking its policies to align with the Trump administration's changing tolerances for hazing and harassment within the U.S. military. In September, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth directed a review and overhaul of those policies, calling the military's existing standards overly broad, saying that they jeopardize troops' combat readiness. So the need to be able to brandish a noose or a swastika. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's crazy. The Coast Guard declined to provide comment before the publication of this report. Subsequent to the publication, Coast Guard spokeswoman Jennifer Plozai said by phone that the service agreed with the Post reporting, but intended to look into the policy changes. Coast Guard spokeswoman said by phone that the service disagreed with the Post's reporting, but intended to look into policy changes. So the person representing the Coast Guard, okay, we will be reviewing the language. I wonder if they just hoped that no one would notice.
Probably.
Right? It probably just was like, I hope nobody notices the shenanigans we're about to pull. Any display, use, or promotion of such symbols as always will be thoroughly investigated and severely punished, Lunde's statement said. Now, I've heard lots of stories about racist behavior in the military. Part of the reason why my pops got out of the Marine Corps was, I believe there were some people in the Corps like that were around him that I truly believe that he thought he was going to end someone's life. He was like, I'm gonna end up punching somebody's ticket, and I got to get out of here. And that's why he got out of the Marine Corps, because it was so prevalent, and it was something that was. He mentioned it was prevalent all the way up and down, from boot camp all the way up to whatever. And he was an MP. So he's a military policeman. So you can imagine black military policemen, you know, you get some rowdy white boys that have had a little bit too much to drink and you're trying to get order. So you can understand how that might go. You know what I'm saying? And what kind of disrespect will come that way. So you can use your imagination to understand what that might have been like. So that was his experience.
David Goggins in his first book.
Hmm.
He was geared up to join SEAL Team 6. Other than requirements, written tests, physical standards, flying colors, and all of that. For the final interview, it was nothing about his career, nothing about his accomplishments in the military. It was all basically we crack a lot of nigger jokes here. We got to make sure you're cool with that before we let you in.
I've heard almost the exact same story multiple times from multiple different people. Absolutely, like they full blown let you know ahead of time. Yeah, absolutely. How did he respond to that?
Oh, his response, I love how he put it. It wasn't at all nervous, wasn't intimidated, big smile on his face. It was for the first time, it was out in the fucking open. His response like, all right, that's cool. I have no problem with that. Just understand I'll be clapping back. And at the time, they didn't seem to have much of an issue with that. But all of a sudden, there's something come up with paperwork. Stuff's gone missing. We might have to do an assessment again.
Yeah. 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 That's a pretty interesting predicament to be in, you know. Yeah, I've definitely been in places where I wasn't very welcome, but I've never had anyone full blown go hit the hard ER and expect me to just eat that shit. No, like that's never happened for sure. People have let it slip around me before. People have referred to other people before. I've had some dudes that were mixed, super comfortable around white boys, and they thought that they could say it, and I've had to check them and be like, hey man, I don't use that word, especially around white folks. Especially around white folks. I'd end up having to whoop somebody's tail behind that kind of stuff. So no, I don't but I couldn't imagine being forced into a situation for real where you're shoehorned into a room with the same guys. Shout out to Solo Dolo. What's up, brother? Anyways, excerpt from November 2025 U.S. Coast Guard policy document, page 36. Potentially divisive symbols and flags include, but are not limited to, the following: a noose, swastika, any symbols of flags co-opted or adopted by hate-based groups as representations of supremacy or radical religious intolerance or bias. Are not limited to the following. The following is a non-exhaustive list of symbols whose display, presentation, creation, or depiction would constitute a potential hate incident, a new swastika, supremacist symbol, Confederate symbols. Like, because here's a real situation, guys. Like, let's just be real. Like, what is this really? Like, what's the real deal, right? The real situation is when some of these white boys do some of these things to us, these are the things that take it from just a misdemeanor or a dust up to the next level. This is them taking away the next level so that the stuff they can always shrug their shoulders and say, well, we just had a disagreement. That's what this is. Because a lot of these dudes, it's the same reason why, right? Like all the hate crimes, right? These people aren't like, you have to full blown have to like write a note out being like, I hate N-words, N-I-G-G-E-R, hard E-R. You got to like carve it into somebody's chest. And then you got to do all the stuff to make it qualify as a hate crime, right? For them to actually get the actual hate crime applied. right? And this is just to chip away at that so that it's no longer like, okay, sure. I mean, we did kind of hang him by the neck with a noose, but I mean, it wasn't a hate crime. I mean, a hate crime, that's a bit much. No, I mean, that's a little bit, it's a little hate crime is a little extreme. No, isn't it? Right? Like, I don't know. Yeah. That's crazy. Coast Guard official who had seen the new wording called the policy changes chilling. We don't deserve the trust of the nation if we're unclear about the divisiveness of swastikas. And the official said, speaking of a condition of anonymity because of fear of reprisal. What about the nooses, though? Ain't that crazy, Broken Blade? Ain't that something? What's more racist than a noose? Is there anything more racist than a noose?
Very little. Could be.
Right? Can you think of anything that says more? Like, what else is a noose for? The swastika at some point was an Indian symbol. It was a symbol that predated the Yahtzees. So one could say that it meant something before and it got adopted or stolen and now it means something else. But I can't say
it was like originally a symbol for peace, but like
that's what originally that's what it was. Originally that's what it was. So but I don't see a noose. I don't see a noose meaning anything else to anybody else.
No.
In any other country,
just a simple scratched out. It was an implement of murder. Period.
That was the only. I mean, that's it. That's it. And we know why and who they were stringing up. But whatever. Coast Guard is a military service. Here, let me do this real quick. We'll just go through a little bit more of this and we'll be done. The Coast Guard is a military service branch under the Department of Homeland Security and the purview of the Homeland Security, Kristi L. Noam. But the service, which has been central to President Donald Trump's increased focus on homeland defense, has been swept up like others in the administration's rash leadership firings and broader targeting of military culture. Former Coast Guard Commandant Admiral Linda Fagan was the first woman to lead a branch of the U.S. military, was fired on Trump's first day in office for what the administration officials said was her focus on diversity initiatives and her handling of SA investigations, which I imagine in the Coast Guard was probably pretty sticky because they be doing stuff. they be doing stuff. Like they really be doing stuff on a boat too. On a boat. Oh yeah, they be doing stuff. And it's not us, it's them. That's the thing. They're covering for them. They're covering for them. Not to say we don't commit crimes. We just tend to commit different kind of crimes. And all the grapey crimes and the touching kids and stuff, that's them. That's not really us. Within days, Lunde ordered the suspension of the Coast Guard's hazing and harassment policy. Hazing, there it is. Among its other guidance, said explicitly that the swastika was among the list of symbols whose display, presentation, creation, and depiction would constitute a potential hate incident. Nooses in the Confederate flag also matched that description under the previous policy. It's like an afterthought. Lunde was later nominated by Trump to become the service's commandant. His Senate confirmation hearing was Wednesday, and he was due to meet with lawmakers Thursday. It is unclear that the Senate Commerce, Transportation, and Science Committee, which has jurisdiction over the DHS, may vote to advance Lunde's nomination. Yeah, whatever. I mean, I guess I'm not, I don't know. Like I said, just calling out the hypocrisies, stuff we're noticing. It's interesting is all. I thought that it was kind of an interesting tidbit of information. Unfortunately or fortunately, it popped into my feed and I thought, you know what, this is something that it's not going to get me kicked off the internet, hopefully. by just talking. Trying not to. I already got hit with a freaking warning for talking about somebody else, letting somebody else say what they wanted to say, but we're gonna have to be whatever. So what do y'all think? I mean, at this point, I think the majority of us are already kind of beyond our military years. And I imagine that if, there were people jumping the fence trying to take over the United States, I have no doubt every single one of you guys would pick up arms and defend your homes. But the idea of defending what we're doing over in some of these other countries, I don't see us doing that.
Well, one of finds it weird that Swastikas are being civic cool, but we still got to call them Canadians.
I think it's because you know what, Broken Blade? I think that they don't really care. I think that they see that as an opportunity they use that to be able to garner sympathy. So if that's nowhere around, then they can't be a victim. Like that's the ultimate, they're the ultimate victim, right? That's the only thing that puts them in the same category with us, right? Like that's why everything for them is always attached to a noose or slavery or whatever. It's because if you take us out of the equation, if you take that off of the equation, they can't be victims anymore. They're not being victimized. They have to create the victimhood. So it's almost like they have to they have to create controversy with that stuff in order for them to be able to be the victim. Like that, it won't work otherwise. So because them people don't even go into our military. They go over there to the IDF. They don't even go to our military. Like, what are we even talking about? The only people that go in any numbers or over index in the military is us. Is us. But they be shoehorning that schmammatism in there. Woman says that her husband should not focus on only working and paying bills or sleeping. He also needs to help with household chores and spend quality time with the family. I don't even want to hear what that woman has to say. I'm sorry.
Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah, I don't really want to hear that. Take over the whole.
We had to drop Tyrese. What more do you want from me? Like,
yeah, yeah. Like, who raised this dude? Broken Blade, how do you feel about this guy? Like, okay, how do we? Hold on.
Texas too.
How do we feel about this? I'm curious. I'm curious to know what y'all really. I'm dead serious. How do we really feel about this?
With the gun, I don't need no bullets. I had to tell Ghost calm down because he be on bullshit. I was trying to put a plane together, say he needs some dog shit. If you ain't green, you're green. Load up, say something. No, my name's Trey. I'm quick on three. Bag, I ran off. You think I caught him? I don't want to get the box of shit. You think I caught it? Somebody died in my hood. You think I did it? Anybody make it with a bitch? I think I did it.
No, you're right.
Now, this is in Texas. You can have heat in Texas. Everybody got heat in Texas.
That's what I'm saying.
Everybody is packing in Texas. That is crazy work. What are you doing, bro?
We saw like a road rage incident in Texas. I couldn't see what was going on in one car, but the context. I'm assuming the dude. I'm assuming the dude in one car pulled out a pistol, whatever they were arguing about, like Brandon the pistol. Because the way his response, dude bust out an AR-15. And it was kind of like, you couldn't hear it, but it was kind of the energy. I don't give a fuck about your punk ass pistol.
Yeah. He brought a knife to a gunfight. Yeah. Brought a knife to a gunfight. Here, let's let this brother, let's this finish.
Council doctrine, like, either mental illness or straight up death wish.
Somebody needs to let this person know, need to give this person some home training.
I sent a bitch to a friend, but I think they sister. Her baby daddy got some money, but I think I'm rich. I made a 20 ball and put it up. I ain't take no pictures. Trying to do some shit, I got my son, I need a baby. hit her. Pull up on the bitch, she let me fuck, I blew her AC with her. Pull up on the bitch, she want to fuck, I told her make me get it. Bitch, try to make this my boyfriend, me, I'ma make me hit her. Bitch, I'm gonna fuck this bitch, I'ma make me hit her. Bitch, try to get my car around, I'ma make me hit her. Get some money out my pocket, try to play the bitch. But when you shit on her friend, I hit all my hands and shit. Bitch, so my dick will keep the little shit, baby, still. I ain't tryna fuck with some niggas, make a baby chicken. Just tell them that. You can thank me later.
And again, like in context, what we're talking about, how easy would it be? One white person out of the car, boom, boom. I was in fear for my life.
Absolutely.
They see that open the shut case.
Absolutely. Oh, man, if I was driving a truck and I had a nice hefty bumper on that bit, like I got a nice Chevy Silverado that would have made quick work of this young man. Quick work of this young man. Okay. Do you think he has both parents at home? I'm asking a legitimate. I'm serious. Well, like, what would possess someone to do this? You know what I'm saying? Like drugs, you think? Alcohol?
Drugs is some form of mental illness.
Like, what are you doing? Because he did connect. Like, he kicked one of those cars. Like, he did connect. At least he bumped another one. You know. And if I were to be driving by and he would have kicked my car, I can't say that I wouldn't have pulled off real quick and slipped up behind him at some point. I don't know. I can't say that I wouldn't have done something like that. And see, what happens is that this kind of thing goes down and then they think all black people just do stuff like this.
Yeah.
This is my problem with this. And it's like, I can't even understand the behavior. Now I got to come out here and defend people that look like me because you're what? Like, you done too many key bumps? You know what I'm saying? Like, you've been feeling yourself or something? Like, what? Like, I mean, we don't really do the meth stuff for real, but
Exactly, Signal. Exactly.
Yeah, hell yeah. Self-defense. That's yes. Now that's actually doing so, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh man. I don't know how I feel about this brother. There's sometimes I really think that he's on the right thing, but then sometimes he says some stuff that I'm just like, brother, killing me. I'm sure we're doing debate with me close. Oh yeah, let them that YT on YT violence. Let them have that. What do we got going on here? Broken Blade, have you ever I've been around a lot of white people. And man, I tell you what, there's a handful of songs that in the YT culture, boy, when that stuff pops off, the whole place rocks. And you're like, where am I? There's a bar over here called Monahan's. And there was a time, let's see. I think it was like an
Journey, one of them.
I don't know. AC/DC, Clarence Clearwater Revival.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Clarence Carroll. I forgot how you say it. Yeah. So, anyways, all I'm saying is that, like, you know, some of y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You've been the only black guy in the room, and it's been like kind of like, you know, just like a hubbub, whatever. And a song like that comes on.
Creep by Radiohead. That's what I was thinking of.
Which one?
Creep by Radiohead.
Oh, I don't know if I can.
I'm a creep.
I'd have to hear it. Yes, yeah. Yep. Oh, is that Hotel California? Is that, hey, put it in the chat. Put all the songs in the chat. Hey, you guys know what I'm talking about. It'll be like a, you know, you're in the bar and there's just like a regular, like just a regular mum, and then a song comes on, and all of a sudden this, it go to a Giants game here in San Francisco. A Giants game.
Sweet Caroline.
Sweet Caroline. Boy, oh boy. This is shout out to the white folks, man. Like they have their own version of fun. Like they have their own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They have their own version of stuff, you know. Shout out to them.
Facts solo. Absolutely.
Country roads. Yep. New York Minute. Yep. Oh, the chat is undefeated. The chat is undefeated. That's why I like, yo, look, check it out. If you haven't hit the like button yet, you should absolutely do it now. I'm telling you, look, see all these immigrants, they don't understand this. This right here, even this Broken Blade right here, the Nigerians, the Jamaicans or whatever, they can't do this. They don't know what this is. They don't know what we're talking about. They absolutely that. Yep.
The fucking drum rip.
I can feel it. Yeah. Yeah. Shout out. The chat is undefeated, dog. The chat is undefeated. Look, see, you know what I'm saying? We know. These are cultural cues that immigrants do not know. They will not know. They will not understand this. They won't. And we don't even listen to this, but we know what the hell it is. Like, we know. I'm telling you, that's what they don't. It's like, look, black folks and white folks have been in this country for a long time together. And again, we have our whatevers, but we know each other better than we know each other better than somebody else. What's that? Love the drinking, junior piano. Man, oh man. I'm at Rock with Dirty. Yeah, because it's not bad music. You know, it's just, you know, sometimes it's just not appropriate for, you know, and you can't deny the fact that looks and feels like a clan rally. You know, like as a black person, even if they're your friends, if that doesn't give you a little bit of anxiety, there's something wrong with it. Even if they're your friends, even if they're your homeboys and whatever. And I know, and like I said, I know, but even if
like you see them like
it should make you a little bit uncomfortable. Yeah, it should absolutely make you a little bit uncomfortable. The hair on the back of your neck should stand up, and the ancestors should tell you to get the hell out of there. Run. Get the hell out of there. The ancestors should just pop up and be like, hey, brother, I understand that, you know, you hang out with these people and they're your friends sometimes, and I'm sure most of them, they mean well, but you need to get the hell out of here. I told you, can I tell a story about the NASCAR race? Can I retell that story?
Yeah, all means.
So I'm an amateur photographer, right? And I go to the Daytona 500 for to take pictures at NASCAR. So I've gone to lots of
with no backup is wild.
Well, I went with backup. They were just little British men, which in the moment I didn't exactly understand that they didn't understand what we were walking into. To be honest, like, even Mike. What's that?
No, back up. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do know. So we go in, And this was like, bro, this was like right at the beginning of, this was like Trump 1.0 in Florida, where, brother, you know, like I saw the big, super big trucks with, and I saw a Trump airbrushed, all buff, like a buff comic Trump with the AR-15 and an American flag, like airbrushed on the back of somebody's truck, like on the tailgate. You know what I'm saying? Like that is the part of Florida we were in, like Daytona Beach, Florida. You know what I'm saying? I had never even seen anything like that. Like gun racks in the, you know, trucks 5 feet off the ground, gun racks with all the pew-pews, sorry, you know, the whole nine, right? So that's already kind of a little bit of that was like, even for me, and I went to college in Colorado, even for me, that was a bit much. I was like, what the hell is going on? So you walk into Daytona.
Yeah, I see some of that around here.
Right. So you walk into Daytona, and and the track has a campground on the inside of the track. So the track is, you know, it's a 2.5 miler track. So inside in the infield, there's a campground there. So you got to park way out, and you walk in, you kind of walk through this tunnel. And I remember one of the little British dudes that I'm with, he's seeing these people with the MAGA hats. It wasn't quite MAGA there, but it was like red hats. Yeah, people had MAGA stuff on at that time, you know. And he was, oh, I'm curious. I just want to ask him about blah blah blah. And there's a couple times where I had to be like, yo, chill. Like, leave Meemaw alone. Leave Meemaw alone. Don't be asking her about her red hat. You leave her alone. So, anyways. The only
sit your British liberal ass down, get us all fucked up.
Gonna get us killed. Yes. Gonna get us messed up out here, right? So we get inside. I probably saw maybe 5 black people all day, and they were part of the staff, like they were working there, you know, like janitors and whatever. So but you know, I went around taking my pictures. I got my camera. I had press credentials. I had press passes and everything. So it was official. So we're down, the race gets over, the race ends at nighttime. So it's all lit up. It's got lights around. So it's pretty lit. Like, you know, if you're down on the track and in the pits, it almost feels like daytime. Like, you know, it's nighttime, but it's daytime. The lights are super, super bright.
Gotcha.
Well, if you've ever been at the end of a NASCAR race, 15 minutes after the race is done, those cars are packed up. The garages are empty, and those trucks are already steaming to the next location. 15 minutes. I'm not joking. Like, as soon as, if you're not in the winning team or in the top 3, that car and truck, everything gets put away so fast and everything just disappears, right? So I'm on the pit, like I'm in the pit lane at the end of the race. And it was kind of like everything, the fireworks, boom, 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 everything's going off. And I'm snapping pictures and enjoying it. I'm like, dang, I'm in the pits at the end of the race. And I'm kind of enjoying it, sucking it all up, right? Bro, 10 minutes go by and all the lights, the whole track, all the lights shut off. Okay. Daytona is out in the swamp, dog. Like, it's dark, like in the swamp in Florida. It is crazy dark out there. There is no light pollution. It is just the sky, right? All these lights turn off at the same time, and it just got pitch black, like instantly. And I was like, oh shit, like what the fuck? Like what the? And you know, when you just all of a sudden, if you just can't see anymore, suddenly, like you, like just the, you know, the back of your hair, the hair on the back of your neck stands up. All of a sudden you got anxiety now, right? Like, what the hell? Okay. So all the lights go out. I'm thinking, bro, I'm like 4 miles away from the car. Like I got to walk 2 miles just to get out of the track, right? So instantly I'm like, ooh, this feels weird, you know?
Yeah. So
my level of concern is starting to kind of creep up a little bit, So I'm like, hey man, we need to go. Like, we need to, no, we need to go. Right. So we start going out, bro, walking through the campgrounds. Now these hillbillies have been drinking all day long, all weekend long. The campgrounds, it's just black. Like, I can see where the street is way, way, way over there. But like, for between me and like where the edge of the track is, it's pitch black except for fires. I see bonfires between me and over there, and all I hear is a bunch of hillbillies hooting and hollering, dog. I'm freaking out.
Hell, man.
Freaking out, Broken Blade. I am tripping. I'm like, yo, get me out of here. And these guys are like, well, what the hell is that? What's going on? I'm like, bro. I'm like, and I try to explain it. The best way I can explain it is if you know when the baby sea turtles, they pop up out of the sand and they don't know exactly what's up, but I just got to get to the water. I just got to get to that's what I felt like. I felt like I just have to get the hell out of here. Like yes, that's what it felt like. I was like, what is going on here? Yee, 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 yee. Woo, wee, yee, yee, yee. I've never heard anything like that before. And it was coming from all different directions, bro. It was I don't know whether they were really talking to each other. I don't know if they were just fucking around. I don't know what the whole situation was, but they were hooting and hollering and yipping all over. And all you can see is just these bonfires, like every 40, 50, 60 feet, just bonfires. I was like, yeah, no, I got to get out of here, bro. Yeah, I'll never do that again. Africa by Toto. Yeah, you right. That's hilarious. Anyway. Yeah. Okay, what's up, brother? How you doing, sir? Anyways, look, that's as long as I was going to keep you guys. I wasn't trying to keep you guys very long. I got a whole bunch of other work to do. But what are your thoughts, Broken Blade? Anything you want to leave the brothers with before we get up out of here? Yeah,
I find this just increasingly stupid. Like how much of your nose do you intend on cutting? What's happening?
Oh no! One guy looked like he was talking. He about to go to sleep though.
Oh yeah.
He got to go to sleep.
Night.
Oh yeah. So he. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. That dude, one dude is security, so the other guy is security. So yeah, we don't condone violence. I'm sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
No, you good. And this is beyond like cutting off your nose to spot your face. This is cutting off your nose, removing teeth, and gouging out an eye.
Damn.
Black Americans have played an important part in every major war in this country's history. We've contributed heavily to our own forces. All you're doing here is weakening your ranks and decreasing trust within said ranks. All the heinous shit this country has done the world over. You really want to weaken armed forces? That is our number one trump card right now. One of the best militaries on the planet.
Pun intended.
And considering just looking at all this going on with this country right now, everybody seems to be freaking out. I decided to do a little research into the Roman Empire to see what led up to its last years. Little search on Bing. What came up? The late Roman Republic saw increasing inequality and populist movements for reform, which were often met with resistance from the senatorial elite. By 5th century AD, the empire faced political fragmentation and economic decline, leading to loss of control over vast territories. Populist movements. MAGA, fragmentations.
Yeah.
Now, these parties have been getting along for a while, but it really seems to be coming apart at the seams now.
Yeah.
We might be in the country's final throes.
I believe so.
From this country's inception, whether or not it was willfully, Black Americans have contributed heavily to this country. It's been built off our blood, sweat, and tears. And any construct, any concept, which cornerstone is an out and out brazen lie or omission of truth, will not stand. The centuries that this country has been around, there's so many that refuse to acknowledge our contributions to this country. So it's no small wonder that there is a portion of this country that is sitting back and praying for this nation's downfall. They might see it as a long overdue common debt. I'll land my plane there.
You said a lot right there. And I know I said I was going to end everything, but how when you say final throws, how final? Like as far as like what do you, if you had to put a timeline on it, what do you think? And what does that really look like?
That's a good point.
Do you think?
If we're lucky, 10 years, something tells me. If it keeps going like this. I've heard some people predict by 2030, you want to be out of the country. But the way it's going, like, just saw a show earlier, the politician got busted for stealing disaster fund money.
I saw that. Yeah. That's where I think. That's where I think is going. That's where I think is going. That's where I think is going. And not just that. It's that the politicians should have a healthy fear of the people of society. That's what should keep them on the straight and narrow, right? So here's what happens. Rich people get to the point to where they're so rich that they can isolate themselves from the community. And then they're going to keep doing their thing and stealing from the bottom. What'll happen is eventually we'll run out of money. It's already happening, right? I'm seeing kids that are doing buying pizzas on financing right now. Yeah. Like there's all sorts of crazy things that are happening. So that's already happening. Credit card debt at an all-time high. We're about to get a repossession apocalypse happening right now. Last year, 2 years ago, the average car payment was like $850, almost $900. The average car payment for financing, like they just exploded up over 5 years, 6 years of financing, which is crazy. The rates are high. Like I was in the car business. So to me, alarm bells are going off because what happens is what are the first things the people, they'll pay their house note, but the first thing that they'll stop paying is their car note when things are bad. And I was in the car business in 2008 when the first recession hit. What we're going through now is worse than that because before it was like housing fraud and it was like big amounts, but it was not everybody had a house. So it was like as many, and that was when black folks lost. That was like the biggest loss of black wealth, by the way, the housing crisis. That affected black people more than anybody else. Subprime mortgages. They tricked a bunch of black folks into refinancing homes, so on and so forth, and they stole those homes from
under the sun.
Absolutely. Okay, so that's happening now, but it's happening like we don't even have homes anymore. Now it's happening with like cars. So it's like it's squeezing what little scamming. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't even get you can't get your credit up enough to buy a home, but I can overfinance you on this car. You can get upside down in this car, and those are getting taken away. You see what I'm saying?
And that sounds like to me like again how Rome felt like the day that it was done. They're taking people, like people financing pizzas.
Yes.
The American citizen is going to be so bereft of hope.
Yes.
By the time Russia or China say, okay, they're weak enough, it's time to go in on foot. Lock and load, boys.
They won't even have to.
Like, no what, fuck it.
They won't even have to.
White House just up the street.
Yeah, they won't even have
Open
to.
the gates for them.
Yeah, they won't have to. They won't even have to. We're gonna. It'll be Mad Max. It'll be Mad Max. What'll end up happening though, the financial institutions are going to crack. They've printed too much money. They've devalued the dollar too much. The country is in the clutches of corporate America to the point to where they've legislated responsibility away. The Sam Altman, OpenAI, was on stage talking about how they're going to be too big to fail, basically already laying the groundwork for a bailout for the government. So it doesn't matter whether he is profitable or not. He doesn't care. He's not even trying to run the business to be profitable. He's trying to extract as much resources and as much money as he possibly can. And if it doesn't turn a profit at some point, all he's going to do is going to go right back to the government and be like, hey, look, we're too big to fail. Like, we've got all these other companies that are investing in us and whatever, you're going to have to insure us. They literally said that. Like, they said a funny way around it. I'm going to probably cover it maybe tomorrow or the next day, because it was fascinating. Like, the fact that these guys sit up there and the types that, like, on the All In podcasts, right? Like these billionaires that are so far removed, they haven't gone grocery shopping for themselves in 20 years, those type of guys. And they're just talking in such a flippant way about how when they fail, we could fail, maybe not, but we'll get backstopped by the government because we'll be too big to fail is essentially what they were saying. So there's only a matter that, like, you can only do that for so long.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that part of the reason why they're getting behind Bitcoin is I think that they're planning on stealing Bitcoin to make up the difference. I think part of the reason why we haven't left Ukraine is that I think that the US economy is more dependent on weapons sales than they want to admit. And if we stop selling those weapons, then we hit recession a lot faster than they want to admit. I think that's why we keep sending stuff over there. Same thing for the Middle East. And I think that that's another reason why we're messing around with Venezuela. I think we're trying to jack their resources so that it'll cover the debt that we have that they're hiding from the American people. If I had to guess, that's also why I think that they're down in Africa, messing with Nigeria and so on and so forth. I think they're trying to steal those resources to make up for this 37, 39, $40 trillion deficit that we happen to be in. If I had to speculate, that's what I would say the problem is. And Broken Blade, I think you're right on the money that this is that. Now, I don't know whether it looks like Mad Max when it's all said and done. I don't know if, eggs are going to cost $20 a dozen. I don't know what that's going to look like. But here's the thing too. China's their economy is not. I watch the news over there. I watch some of the stuff that people don't get in the United States. I follow a couple of channels over there. They're financially in a pretty messed up place. And Trump, these tariffs and kind of revamping these trade rules is beating the hell out of them a lot more than they want to admit. Like, they're really hurting over there. So I think that they're not nearly as strong as the media has made them out to be. However, if Trump hadn't pulled the plug when he did, like right now, I think it would be a different story. But anyways, why did a Doge go quiet? Because they found the money and realized that they were stealing it all. And they were like, ooh, ooh, dang it. Really? We stealing all of this? Is all theft? All of it? All of this is theft? You too? Oh, shit. You too? You too? Shit. All right, I'll get quiet then. I'll shut up. I'll shut up. Let me go back to Tesla. My bad. Let me go back to Tesla.
That Bill Hicks joke. They're getting office on the way to office, talk about how they're gonna do all of these great changes for the American people. Moment first day in office, take it to a basement filled with oil barons and show them the tape. She's a film of the JFK assassination from an angle no one's ever seen it before. Now, this is how we're moving.
I mean, that's how they get down. That's how they get down. That's the American way.
All the fucking work, bro.
That's the American way. Anyways, all right, guys. So I'm not gonna try to rage bait anymore. Ooh, this is what no symptom looks like.
Are you sure? You want a hug? You told me to come up here. Give me a hug.
I'm good.
Okay, so you don't want a hug?
Nah, I'm good.
Are you sure? Just give me a hug.
I'm good. I'm good. Nah, I'm good.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Nah, yeah.
You told me to come up here.
Nah, you good.
You don't want me to be in here anymore?
Nah, you good.
Do you want me to be in here or not?
Nah, you good. You can go back.
Salute to that brother. I don't know what happened, but salute to him. That's how it go. That's how it go. I don't know what happened, but I don't care. What did he say? After Lala Batiste's treacherous past was revealed, oh, he found out Jay Single wants nothing to do with her. See, he found out how nasty she is. He's like, I'm good. I wonder what the comments say. Let's hold on. I'm curious. Wait, hold on. How do I see the comments?
Let's see who's going to be the one to defend her.
Hold on.
Feminist and white knight. What you guessing?
I don't know, bro. Cause let's see. Full compilation of every crack known Bop Lala Baptiste. Why is okay? I mean, we know what the ladies are gonna be like. Oh, y'all get to sleep with da 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 da. Why does it matter if I da 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 da? We know that's what's gonna happen, and there's gonna be a couple super simps in there that are gonna be like, "Come on, baby girl, I'll wine and dine you and do all the things." Why is
that question really asking that? You may not like the answer, but it's the truth. What men do with it's a skill. Having the right confidence, charisma, social skills to consistently cut the woman's defenses to seal the deal. It's like a dude appreciate somebody that always comes back with like a goes deer hunting, always comes back with a large stag. Same thing.
Yeah.
Or big ass catfish. Like
you doing something right? Yeah. Yeah, you're doing something. Doing something right. Doing something.
The most a woman really has to do, go to the gym.
Yeah. Yeah.
The day she wants to go out to the club, make sure her titties look right, make sure her ass is right, make sure her face look right.
Yeah.
Go out public away from dudes with pro shirt.
Yeah. It's a good barometer. Let's see. I missed the way I viewed the world before. I knew too much about it. Let's see. Nah, fam, you was out here acting a whole clown for some mid bop. Take this reality check and a glass of chill. Jay Cinco don't play when it comes to it's fine. Yeah. That's funny. I just hope that when I find real love, my past, especially my past era, won't be used against me because I've grown, evolved. I'm so much more than I used to be. Hell no. LOL, N-words have 20 plus bodies and be worried about a woman's little 7. Okay. How do you feel about that comment? Damn, I told you I was going to be done with this. But what they don't realize is like, if I know the 7, that's a problem. Ladies, we assume that you're not virgins. We assume that, but we don't want to know the guys. We don't want to know the guys. If it's all my homeboys, you're off limits. If it's a bunch of dudes I know, you're off limits. If it's two guys from the basketball team, 3 guys from the football team, 1 guy from the wrestling team, and another rando that's always like the club promoter. If I know all these men that you've slept with, you're off limits. You're off limits. I don't want to know all the men that I can't be in the same room with a bunch of men that have already had their way with you. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. But they don't get that part.
Yeah, what you ain't trying to hear is like y'all get drunk or like you messing around married abroad, bachelor party night before, they all get drunk, they start exchanging stories. Bro, she do the thing with your tongue, with a tongue, like nig.
Yeah, nah. Yeah, nah. Hell nah. We done. We good. Just like you said, nah, you good. What do you want it? No, you good. You want me to? Nah, you good. This thing was visibly disgusted after Lala Baptiste told him she went to prom with a senior while she was just a freshman, didn't see anything wrong with it. Yeah. What does that say? Show me the vag facts. Yeah. Let's see, found kid synchronized him instantly after realizing he's Mexican but can't speak a word of Spanish. Nah, I'm gonna see you later. Every rapper that cracked known Bob Lala Baptiste, she's the one. No. Nah. I really think women should get at least a little bit more respect, even if we have OnlyFans. No. I really hope I don't get this treatment from y'all in the future because I'm just a girl and I only did what I needed to do. Yo, man, reality is gonna be. There's a whole lot of ladies that is gonna get. Reality's gonna be slapping the hell out of them here, moving forward. They're gonna be like, "Oh, y'all really don't like? Yeah, y'all." There's gonna be a lot of dudes that won't care, but there's gonna be a lot of dudes. The kind of guy that you think that you want doesn't like that everybody has cracked their female, and I'm using the word that the kids used. Let's see, to a clip from Streamers University before they even dated. Yeah, that's funny, bruh. Obsession with these girls, dated and messed with. Yeah, y'all act like women can't have a past. I wish women acted like this when men got over 50 bodies. It's just not the same, ladies. I know you don't want to admit it. And it doesn't feel good. Doesn't sound good. I know it hurts your soul, but it's not the same, ladies. It's just not. We could wash y'all off, but y'all can't wash us out.
Bars. Deeper than that, like bars. But why is it like every talk about equality? Like they always want to emulate the worst aspects of men.
Yeah. It's like, why don't you work 16 hours a day? Be a man. You know what I'm saying? Why don't you do that?
Because even more dudes, they'll keep like 50 body count, kind of crazy even for dudes. Like damn, like
it's a pretty big number. It's a pretty big number. Decent sized number, guys. Because guys don't really. It's not because guys don't get it like that. And then once you get to a certain age, you realize it's not always worth it. So you're not like, there was definitely a time where if I had an opportunity, I was probably trying to take it. But then I got to where I was like, oh, you know what? This one looks like trouble. She got the crazy eyes, you know? 1,000 cock stare.
Talked about that. Like he talked about things like Ethiopia, like he's been with 3 women, but once like, oh, it's cool for a little while. After we're like, some things should remain fantasies.
I'm with that. Substance is not all it's cracked up to be. I mean, they can get bored, I guess, if they want. But I don't know. I'm pretty, I can color within the lines. I can stay in the. There's plenty that you can do within the lines. You can use different colors. There's a whole lot of different types of crayon. You can use marker, crayon, color pencil. You can do a lot of stuff and still stay in the lines. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to go way over here. Like, you don't have to color way off the page. You can keep it right on into what you call it. And you know what? You can take that page, you can copy it blank, and then you can color it in with something different again, and you can still stay within those lines. That's where I like to be. I like that analogy. I just made that up on the spot. I like that. I'm gonna keep that. But yeah, anyways, yeah, that someone said that she didn't look like she's ever been told no before, which is probably true, because she's cute and she doesn't look like she's probably ever been told no. You know what I'm saying? Nice little body or whatever. But yeah, nah. Culturally ambiguous. Is she Baptiste? So is she like Latina?
It could be Creole.
Creole? Ah, okay. I mean, she's cute, but Danger Will Robinson. Yeah, that fool won't even make eye contact. That fool was like, yeah, I'm good. You good? Yeah, you good. Nah, you good. Lean back. Yeah, got that. Nope. That fool straight turned his head. Nah, you good. You good. Nah, that fool was like, nah. Ooh, she probably ain't never been curved like that before, especially on camera too. And on camera, like, she's never been curved like that before. Ooh, I bet. And then the crazy part about it is, I bet that makes her want him more.
Of course.
That's the sad thing about
a little
that.
bit like that, absolutely.
That's the sad part about that whole thing. Now she's probably like, I see him as a challenge now. That's a shame. Anyway, good shit, man. Salute to everybody in the chat, man.
Have to cuss her out. I've been in that situation.
Huh? Yeah. Shout out. Who's this? Oh, what's up? Is that Cortez Smith?
Yeah, that's Cortez.
Okay. All right. She got me. I'm like, I recognize the icon, but I was like, what is the name? Is different. Man, shout out to everybody that came through, bro. Red Sigma, salute. Braxton, Issa, who else came through? Solo Dolo, of course, my brother from another mother. Who else is up in here? Of course, Cody Marshall. Thanks all of you guys. This was actually, I was planning on only keeping this down to an hour, and I didn't think it was going to be that interesting, but it was a pretty darn good broadcast. God dang it. This was worth the watch back. This was a good time. Shout out to all you guys, man. I really, truly appreciate you. I'm trying to do a million things, and just to be completely transparent, I'm sure that you guys have experienced this where you're doing a lot of things and you're not excelling at any one thing. You're just doing a whole bunch of stuff. Okay. And so I'm in a process of like muscling through, right? It's like, keep your head down and keep working and you'll catch fire. Keep working, you'll catch fire. And so the reason why I'm sharing this particular fact is that some of you guys kind of need to hear it, right? Like, some of you guys might be working on something. Some of you guys are, thinking about working on something, side hustle. Maybe it's your main hustle, and what I want to say is that, find yourself a group of men that you can bounce ideas off of, that can really help you, even if it's just like, hey, let's just kick some ideas back and forth, you know what I'm saying, in a creative space a little bit, to just to make you feel, or at least it helps you stay motivated and positive and move and feeling like you're moving forward, always progressing, always learning, always talking about stuff. Me and Broken Blade were on the phone the other day, and we're just like back and forth about, search engine optimization and how we should be tagging videos and talking about insights about some of the stuff that we're doing. Don't be afraid to do those kinds of things. Not everybody has a deep bench of guys that they can deal with. You guys are mine. Right. Like I'm closer to you guys than I am of people that like live on my block. So don't be afraid to, to reach out to, each other and so on. Don't be afraid to build these relationships and really kind of take that energy and put it towards doing something positive and working towards something, whatever it happens to be. And if you're not working on something right now, if all you're doing is just going back and forth to work, awake, asleep, awake, asleep, awake, asleep, and you're not doing anything that's going to put money in your pocket or that's going to help your family or something, figure something out. Figure something out. Try something. Do something, right? And it doesn't have to be crazy. Look at the resources that you have available to you, whatever they happen to be. Maybe you just live in a picturesque place and you don't have a really nice camera, but you have a cell phone, and a cell phone has a camera on it. And maybe you say, I'm like, you know what? I go to this, I live in this picturesque place. I'm broke. I don't have any money, but you know what? I can take really nice pictures. Let's learn how to take pictures and make a hustle out of that. And then you say, okay, well, you know what? I learned how to do that. Now I'm going to spin that. And now I'm going to do this. And you, as long as you're learning how to get better at something and you're consistent, you'll be on the right track. And that's all I wanted to, because I'm reminding myself to do the same thing is why I'm saying this. I'm saying this because this is the pep talk that I'm giving myself. And I'm like, you know, I imagine that these guys could probably use the same pep talk that I'm giving myself right now, right? I talked about it earlier, Broken Blade. You know, sometimes like I'm just, you know, get this bag and this class, and I'm like, man, is this hard enough? Is this stupid? Does this make sense? Like, is anybody gonna like this? And you know, and it was funny because I'm about, you know, in the last 2 days, I probably took myself through about 5 classes, 3 of which I filmed, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I feel like I feel like I really got some work in. You know what I'm saying? Like I really got some work in, which means that it's not nothing, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
at least something. And then as I'm
I'll answer that real quick. The one I did last night, it was late at night, so I didn't know how loud the bag is from from the outside. Didn't want to wake up neighbors up, nothing like that. So I'm pulling punches, and I'm still working the dog shit out of myself.
It's harder. It's harder. It's sometimes harder. Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. So all I'm saying, I'm saying all that to say this, that like, you know, we're up here. Broken Blade and I are not the type of guys that are like, look at me, I want to be on TV. we're actually pretty shy, introverted dudes that are doing this thing in addition to some of the other projects and things that we're doing. And even though we are completely not in our comfort zone, we're doing it anyway. And so if I can, you know, if me letting you know that like, hey man, like this is not like this is not our thing. Like we struggle. This is not easy. If that can help motivate you to continue or do whatever it is that you got to do or you need to do, I would love to help you do that. That's all I'm going for. It's like, this is the same pep talk that I had to give myself. Like, you're not an imposter. Like, you really are good at what you're doing. Your instincts are good. Your quality of work is good. Your work ethic is good. Like, even though, you know, everything's not hitting on all cylinders like it 100% should be, like, keep working because you're going to pop. Like, it's only a matter of time. You're going to pop. Keep being consistent, make the adjustments. Eventually you're going to pop. And that was the pep talk that I gave myself. So somebody else needed to hear that. I don't know who. Hopefully somebody else needed to hear that, and that helped somebody else out. Anyways, that's all I got to say, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, bro. Thank you guys so much for coming through. I really, truly appreciate you. And what is that? Yep. Slowly building my side hustle. That's what I'm talking about. What is it? Same here. I have more in common. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. So I really, truly appreciate you guys. I really do, man. You guys have made my afternoon. You've made my evening. I was, again, you know, this was like the breath of fresh air that I really needed today. And the interesting thing about this is that I feel more energized now than I did when I started 2 hours ago. That should tell you something. I feel I have more energy now after sitting here talking to you guys for 2 hours than I did before I sat down. That should be telling you guys something. So salute to all of you.
Started this show to make coffee.
So salute to all you guys, man. Thank you so much. I truly, truly appreciate you. And me and Broken Blade, we'll catch you guys on the next one. We out. Peace.
Because that's just what's happening. We are winning.
We winning.